Alright, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to another video here on Optimus Games, and today I want to talk about a topic that's been kind of a weird hot button issue, I guess, in the Call of Duty community. As we all know, Modern Warfare 2 is going to be the first Call of Duty game in the franchise's history, well, at least recent history, that is a last yearly release. So basically coming in 2023, there will be no new Call of Duty release, and we'll be getting Modern Warfare 2 for 2 full years, right? Now the conversation that's kind of circled around this now is, can they actually successfully, and the question kind of remains, can Infinity Ward carry this game for 2 years? Because obviously that's a pretty major task. You got a lot of things on the table for what you can do. You got to kind of consider how you can work around that, and it being the first time that it's been done in so long, man, you also have to consider the fact of, did they plan this right? Are they going to execute this right? What is Call of Duty's plan for a 2-year release in Modern Warfare 2? So this has been the transition to Call of Duty 2.0, as it's called, right? You know, we're getting Warzone 2.0 in a few weeks. This is supposed to usher in a new era of Call of Duty, right? One where they don't rely on yearly releases, I guess, to get everybody hyped up in the franchise and get people constantly playing the games. It's a very bold decision for a franchise that's relied so heavily on kind of leaning into those yearly releases. So it is a major change up, it's a major switch up, and to the players like us, I mean, it's a major change, right? We're going to be playing the same COD for 2 years, so it's going to be important to see what they have kind of planned, what's scheduled, to kind of see what kind of content we can expect. So obviously, laying out the things that we do know, we have the normal multiplayer mode for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now, is that going to be enough, right? Well, I have a very good amount of time into multiplayer so far. I'm almost max level. I have almost all of my assault rifles platinum. I'm working on some battle rifles and SMGs. And with that, with multiplayer, as it stands right now, obviously, I don't think it has enough content. I mean, it has what, like less than a dozen maps? I mean, it has a good amount of weapons. There's a good amount of game modes. But for 2 years, that's not enough content. You know, there's going to have to be dozens of maps. There's going to have to be way more content, I feel like, added to the multiplayer of this game before we can legitimately talk about it being a 2-year cycle. And I think the plan for that is they're going to, you know, release like monthly updates to the game or whatever, where they drop like a new map or something like that. What I'm looking forward to, and I think what a lot of players are looking forward to, is like legacy content. I think with that 2-year stretch, right, if they want to keep the game fresh, obviously they're going to have to add new weapons, new maps. And the way they can really do that is by tying in old franchise favorites. I mean, just off the top of the head, like some Infinity Ward maps that could come back in Modern Warfare 2, right? We've got Terminal, High Rise, Quarry, Favela. You got like Shipment. You have maps from COD 4, right? You got like Bog. I didn't mind Bog. I doubt they bring it back, but Kill House. I mean, even from like Modern Warfare 3, I liked like Village. There's a lot of maps from these old Call of Duty games that could be brought back, and I think that's going to be like what they eventually do, you know, like maybe one month we'll see like a new game mode added and we'll get Rust, you know, and then the next month we'll get High Rise 24/7 and High Rise, right? And maybe a new weapon like the Intervention or something, right? I think that could be a really cool direction for something they do, and I think that's honestly what we end up seeing, right? I think that's kind of their strategy for multiplayer. This is what they've been doing in a lot of the recent CODs, just bringing back fan favorite maps. I don't mind that. I actually think that's a good thing, because as it stands, I don't mind the new maps in Modern Warfare 2, but I would love to play some legacy maps and see how they play in this game too. So, you know, just bringing back some fan favorite weapons, maps, things like that. I think they could stretch multiplayer to 2 years, but of course multiplayer is not the only game mode or anything that they're focused on. We also have Warzone 2.0 coming out. Now this is kind of like its own standalone game, but it's also going to be really heavily tied into Modern Warfare 2. And that's actually going to be huge, because Warzone is such a popular mode for Call of Duty. What it's essentially going to do is, not only is Warzone going to have its own thriving community, but over that 2-year period when it's constantly being updated and new content's being brought to the game and whatnot, it's going to bring more players over to Modern Warfare 2, because, you know, people are going to download Warzone for the first time, be like, hey, I actually really enjoy this, and next thing you know, they'll be buying Modern Warfare 2, with sales and everything too. I assume that's also going to help. So that's going to be big, man. I mean, Warzone 2.0 is going to be huge for the future of Modern Warfare 2, and whether or not, you know, it can successfully last 2 years. If you really think about it, that is a pretty daunting task for a game like Modern Warfare 2 to last 2 years, because, I mean, mean, this is something pretty new to the franchise, right? But at the end of the day, I think they're in a good position to do it if they keep up that content grind, if they continue to like give us new stuff constantly to enjoy, new battle passes, new maps, new weapons, new modes, double XP weekends, maybe introduce features like Clan Wars. This is one of my favorite features in COD that hasn't come back in a long time. Clan Wars were so huge. If they brought that to multiplayer, man, even to Warzone somehow, if they brought that in, dude, that would be such a huge feature. Like, that would improve the playability and the replayability of this game so goddamn much. Infinity Ward, if there's one thing you take from me, put Clan Wars in Modern Warfare 2. It will immediately be the best COD in years. Now, you also have to think there's Spec Ops, there's the rumors of campaign DLC, there's DMZ mode, right? What exactly can we expect? Well, obviously, they're probably going to add more Spec Ops missions as time goes on. I don't think the 3 that are in the game right now is enough content. This will be somewhat fixed, though, with the introduction of raids, I believe, in December. You know, where players can do like the AI raids and whatnot and kind of fight for loot. DMZ mode, kind of like Tarkov, you know, it's a looter shooter. Basically, you drop into the map, you kill other players, you loot whatever you can, you GTFO, right? Like, that's going to be a really fun mode. That's coming out, I believe, with Warzone 2 on November 16th, so that's going to be interesting to see. Overall, it seems like Modern Warfare 2 is going to be chocked full of content, and especially over the next couple of months as things start to launch, it's really going to determine whether or not this content can hold over for 2 full years, because you got to think, not only does it have to last this full life cycle, but starting in October/November of 2023, it's got to last a full other year beyond that before Treyarch gets their flagship COD, you know? So it's going to be really interesting to kind of see whether or not this game can last 2 years with the content that it's getting. I think if they consistently update it enough, that'll be massive for the longevity of the game, but what I'm worried about is them spreading themselves too thin, you know? They got all these different modes, all these different ambitious things that they're going to be working on. Is it going to get to a point where we're not getting enough content for each mode that it's going to make certain modes boring? Like, I don't want to see them prioritize only Warzone and, you know, multiplayers not getting enough new maps and content to make it worth playing, or, you know, DLC for, you know, Spec Ops isn't coming fast enough to make it playable. I feel like Infinity Ward and all these studios working on the game have to really get on this pace of getting a shit ton of new content out very consistently, making all of these modes actually way more playable. I mean, they're already in a good state for launch, but obviously launch content compared to a 2-year life cycle, you're going to have to do more. You're going to have to bring more to the table. You're going to have to pack a harder punch than that to actually get people interested. Overall, man, I'm just really excited to see if this game can actually last the 2 years. This is definitely very ambitious for Call of Duty. It's something that they've locked into for multiple years. Like, there's really no coming back from this. Like, if it fails, if they don't get enough content out, if they don't do enough, if they don't push enough, then it's going to really be a downfall for the franchise. Like, it's going to be massive, right? This is something they're really banking on. They're really starting to, like, put a lot behind. So I'm really interested to see what they're going to do, like what the strategy is, what they're going to be adding to the game, what they're going to be focusing on over other things. I really feel like Warzone multiplayer and maybe DMZ mode are really going to get the focus of everything here, which is probably the best because those are going to be the 3 probably most played modes and the modes that people care about the most. But once again, you know, I want this to be a content-rich game. I want this to be something I can consistently come back to. Like, I'm already addicted. I'm already having fun with the game. I'm already playing a shit ton of the new Call of Duty. But is it going to be something that keeps my attention? This has been a problem with Call of Duty for years now. And now that they're effectively doubling the life cycle of the game, I'm really just kind of worried for the outcome. But I'm also very excited for the outcome. I really want to see what they have here on the table and see what we can kind of get out of this, man. I'm really just excited for the next few years of Call of Duty to kind of just see how they implement things. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubTheOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. And until my next video here on Optimus Games, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about the next 2 years of Modern Warfare and signing out.